Hello guys, Beta 3 is out, and it's the biggest update Audja has had so far. Let me show you what's new. First feature, Sculpt mode. We built a full dedicated sculpting space inside Audja, clean and focused, nothing extra. It comes with all the core brushes, and a stamp brush with alpha support, so you can load your own alphas straight in with one click. You get full control over the shading material, lighting, and color, and on the topology side there's a remisher, auto retopology, subdivision levels, and masking. It's built for real production work, and we're gonna keep building on top of it. Second feature, graphics tablet support with pen pressure. Plug in your tablet and it just works. Pen pressure controls your sculpting strength in sculpt mode. Light touch for soft strokes, push harder, and it goes deeper, exactly how it should feel. And while painting it controls brush size too, including an AMS painting mode. Strokes are sampled at full tablet speed, so no matter how fast you move the pen, it never skips. Input is immediate. We wanted it to feel like a dedicated sculpting app, and that's what we went for. Works with Wacom, XP Pen, Huion, screen tablets, and any Windows Ink pen device. And if you prefer working without pen pressure, there's a toggle to turn it off. Third feature, print supports. We built two original support styles inside Audja that you won't find in any slicer, and both are designed to waste less filament and cut down print time. First one is one-pull ribbons. It builds curved connected walls rising from the build plate, and after printing you just grab any part of the structure and pull. The whole thing peels off in one motion like a zipper. No scars left on the surface. Second one is scaffold cage, which is the smarter one. It detects overhangs on its own, shapes itself around the model more intelligently, and breaks away even easier than ribbons. Both are fully adjustable, air gap, thickness, overhang angle, all of it. And you can manually force a support exactly where you want one, or block zones where you don't want any. Fourth feature, Render Studio. You can now do promo shots and product videos straight from Audja without touching any other software. 3 things in there. First is instant camera shots. One click gets you front, back, left, right, top, or bottom view, and saves a JPG of exactly what's in your viewport. Resolutions are 1080p in 16:9, 9:16, 4:3, and 1:1, plus 1440p. Second is 360 turntable videos. You just pick the length, frame rate, and resolution, and it renders a full turntable. There's also an optional orbiting text watermark that circles the design so nobody can take your showcase and repost it as their own. Third is path videos. You fly the camera around the model, drop points wherever you want. Each point locks in your exact view, and Audja renders a video flying along that whole path. Really good for detailed models where you want to show specific angles. Exports as MP4 or AVI. Fifth feature, History Timeline. Your whole session is now recorded on a visual timeline, up to 1000 steps. You just click any point and jump straight back to it. It stays light too. History lives on disk as temporary data instead of eating your RAM, and cleans itself up when the session ends so you don't have to think about it. Sixth feature, Outline Cut, or Smart Key Cut. If you want to cut out a specific part of any model, separating a car door for example, you switch to the 2D sketch view, which is a flat orthographic view with a drafting grid, and draw a pen curve around it point by point with full curve handle control. You can jump between front, back, left, right, top, and bottom at any time to line the cut up perfectly from every angle. By default, the cut projects through the whole mesh, but you can set an exact depth with the live preview showing exactly where it stops, and there's an adjustable clearance so the piece comes out with the fit you want. Seventh feature, paint that survives everything. Colors are now bonded to the mesh in Audja, so whatever you do to the geometry, the paint follows. Repair the mesh, self-intersections, flipped normals, non-manifold edges, holes, colors stay. Decimate it, colors stay. Remesh it, colors stay. Hollow it, and cut filament use in half. The inner wall automatically inherits the outer surface colors. Cut it with blade split, articulate, any method, colors intact. And the big one? You can import a painted 3MF, open sculpt mode, subdivide, remesh, sculpt real changes into it, and not lose a single color. Eighth feature, navigation gizmo. There's now a live orientation ball sitting in the corner of the viewport. Works in the main workspace, AMS painting mode, and sculpt mode. You can also drag it to orbit and resize it with the mouse wheel. Ninth feature, color painter, faster, smarter, and in every direction. The paintbrush is noticeably faster now with a cleaner viewport cursor, and there's a new backface option that paints through to the inner surface of hollow models. Height fill works in any direction now, not just horizontal. You can fill vertically, rotate the height axis into any orientation, and choose exactly which part of the mesh it affects. Pen curve now traces the actual mesh surface instead of screen space, so you draw your curve, orbit freely, and the paint lands exactly where you drew it. Smart fill detects regions better and closes small gaps, so fills stop leaving white slivers around tricky borders. Bucket fill is faster and no longer leaves tiny triangle specks along region edges. And there's an invert colors option now. Swaps an object's painted colors in one click, especially useful after separate by color when you want to remap a separated painted part instead of repainting the whole thing. 10th feature, separate by color, reworked around 3 methods. The whole separation toolkit is now organized into 3 clear methods: fast, keys, and socket, and all 3 work in both separate by color and mask split for 3 MF files. Fast, which used to be called smooth, got a serious upgrade with more precise cuts and clean closed caps on both sides. Keys combines separation and connectors in one flow. You paint the part, see the preview, hit add key, pick the shape and clearance, place it, apply, done in a few clicks. Socket now has a full viewport gizmo for plug depth, taper squeeze, and taper direction. The sliders still work too if you prefer those. And the big thing with mask split is it separates 3 MF files using all 3 methods without losing a single color. 11th feature, themes and interface polish. Audja now ships with 7 color themes you can switch between instantly, and 2 interface styles, standard which is sharp, and soft which has rounded buttons. The interface also adapts properly across different monitor sizes and resolutions now. 13th feature, Flash Studio Slicer support. Flash Studio by FlashForge is now on the open and slicer list, and on top of all the new features, there's also a bunch of fixes and improvements from the previous beta. First fix, project saving. Saving.Audja projects could occasionally fail, and in some cases a saved file would come back as corrupted and not reopen. Both of those are fixed at the root now. Saving is reliable even for multi-gigabyte projects, and files that looked corrupted before can actually be opened again in this update, so your old work isn't lost. Also added a checkbox when saving manually that lets you include the session's history timeline inside the project file. It's off by default to keep files small and saves fast, but it's there if you need it. Second fix, big 3MF exports. Blade splitting a large model can produce way more than 36 build plates, and slicers hard crash on any 3MF beyond that limit. Before, exporting a 50 or 100 plate project produced one giant 3MF that crashed the slicer the second you tried to import it. Now Audja automatically exports slicer-ready batches. Each file carries up to 36 plates, named clearly like model plates 01 to 36, 37 to 72, and so on, saved side by side, and it tells you exactly how many files it created. Third fix, false device blocks at sign-in. Some users were getting told their device was blocked or hit a device limit when opening Audja even when it wasn't true. That's fixed. Those messages now only show up when they're actually real, and temporary server hiccups no longer sign anyone out or lock a session. Fourth fix, crash-proofing heavy operations. The weak points that could crash Audja under pressure, huge models, heavy operations, low memory, now have safe fallbacks. Instead of going down, the operation backs out and tells you what happened, and your work stays intact. Fifth fix, smarter crash reporting. If something does go wrong, the crash reporter now pinpoints way more precisely where the failure happened, which means faster fixes in future updates. Beta.3 is out, and honestly, this one hits different. Every piece of feedback you sent, every bug you reported, every weird edge case you ran into, it's all in here somewhere. The community actually moves this thing forward, and that's not something we take lightly. Go try the new updates, and happy printing.